So in this video, I'm going to go through the top 15 things you need to know and why you need to know them. It's really important you pay attention to what these points are. Point number one is don't jump straight into doing challenges or using the EA on live or funded accounts until you know what it is you're doing. And that means familiarizing yourself with the Discord, understanding the settings, and just having confidence and belief in knowing what it is you're actually doing and how the tool works. Another point with this is making sure you always understand how to manage your risk and don't let your trading rely on hope. Risk management parameters are built within the EA. Always use them on your live funds especially. Because if you don't do any of this, yes, you might get beginner's luck, but that's not going to be sustainable. You're going to get humbled and caught out at some point. So slow down. There is no rush. Manage that impatience that's within you. Familiarize yourself. Know what the hell's going on and always manage that risk. Point number two is do not use the MetaQuotes server. So whenever you log into your terminal, there might be a MetaQuotes demo there. Do not use it. It's useless. The data feed's delayed. Certain functions with equity management just don't work. It's not a real broker, so don't use it. Point number three is another really important one. Understand that all data feeds for all brokers are different. So if you were to run a backtest or settings, for example, IC Markets is going to work completely different with, for example, maybe FTMO or Vantage. All brokers work differently in different ways. And this is why a lot of people who may have tried EAs before haven't been successful, because they don't know this bit or they've never been told it. So it's really important you understand that whatever account or broker you're running the EA on, that's the account that you do the optimizations and testing on. If you don't, you'll have to recalibrate and retest on the new server. As a follow-on to that, when you're doing a challenge or trading with FTMO, if you do their free trial, their FTMO free trial has a server which is called FTMO-demo. That's actually different to the challenge server that you trade upon. I know that's annoying, but it is the way it is. So when you're familiarizing yourself with the EA, it may be that you do an optimization or find settings for the trial and then you recalibrate them for the challenge, or at least sanity check that they work. The good thing is whenever you buy a challenge, that doesn't kick in until your first trade. So you can buy a challenge, use the strategy tester or use our files or whatever you choose to do and make sure that it's in line with that data feed too. Point number four, whenever you're dealing with any prop firms, understand the rules. It's a basic, it's fundamental. Read the small print, navigate the FAQs. Just don't score unforced errors with making mistakes that you don't need to make just because you've made an oversight or you've missed something. Point number five, account uniqueness. Prop firms have strategy allocation rules, which means we can't all run the same trades. This is why, yes, we give you some set files, that they are a baseline for you to work from. You should be managing your account and understanding that ideally your entry and exit need to be different, but at least one of them. Prop firms are getting better at identifying trades that are the same. We are working on a new update that's going to make this even easier, but managing that lock profit and trailing stop with unique numbers is going to be fundamental. So when someone asks in the chats or shares some results, that's why there'll often be people not going to share the set files because they've done the work, and if you use that set file, you're both going to lose your account. So by all means, ask open questions to understand maybe the approach that they use to find them settings, but understand that account uniqueness plays a very, very important key part in prop trading. Number six, there are times that you're going to need some help. That's absolutely fine. I know I'm biased, but I believe we've got probably one of the best support functions in this industry. Not exaggerating at all. We've got around the clock cover through UK, US, Asian sessions with Rick, Mac, myself, Connor, Joel. We're all there to help you, right? But when you need help, please check the support bot first because your question's probably already in there. Yes, you can raise a support ticket. Our average response time's usually under 35 minutes, but understand this isn't a live chat function. Yes, we will respond to you. Yes, we will help you, but we do have lives, families. There are weekends, although we are usually online and we are usually there to help. Whenever you've got a question, send as much support and information as you can. Help us help you. Send a picture that's clear. Send a screenshot of something. If you've got more generic type questions, then I hold a weekly live Q&A. So all of the Q&As are in the Q&A channel, and you can click them Q&As and watch the repeats, the reruns, just by clicking the same link if you can't make it online. But add your question into that live Q&A and we will handle that question live. It's a great format for you to get answers. The reason being is, don't suffer in silence. silence. If you're stuck, there's probably already been someone stuck with that question that's within there, but make sure you're reaching out for any help that you might need. Number 7, understanding slippage and latency. Make sure that your VPS is as close to your server location with your broker as much as possible. That reduces the latency, and slippage is a factor, especially with prop firms. They like to slip you. Yeah, there's a game here. They ultimately want you to fail, right? So just understand that any big news in the market, there could be gaps on market open, and if there's a gap on market open and you've got a max daily loss set, price could slip past that max daily loss. So just understand the risks involved and that slippage is a thing. Yeah, brokers need to fulfill these orders and execute any instructions that are given. So just make sure you understand what slippage and latency is. Number 8, overfitting. Really important. A bit like the earlier point with not understanding that data feeds are different, people don't understand that they're actually overfitting to the past, which means that that is unlikely to play out in the future in terms of their optimization and settings. Most people don't know that you need to have a robust strategy when it comes to optimization. The good news is we teach it. There's a video. You do need to watch it. It's mandatory. You've got to watch it, because if you don't watch it, you'll be barking up the wrong tree and doing the wrong thing, which means you'll do an optimization and think it looks wonderful, trade it live, and it'll fall off a cliff. I cover it and explain it in that video. A robust optimization process involves looking at in-sample data, out-of-sample data, and a walk-forward process to test how likely it is that those settings are likely to play on and continue moving forward. Nothing's perfect. A backtest is no guarantee of a future result. However, it's there to leave us with clues and provide us with more probability that we're on track with finding something that's going to help continue moving forward. Number 9, drawdown calculations within Strategy Tester. You'll see things on the Strategy Tester like maximal drawdown, absolute drawdown, etc. It's important you understand what they mean, because a lot of people might look at maximal drawdown over 5% and assume that that means that that's a prop challenge failure, which is totally incorrect. We manage daily drawdown within prop rules with our max daily drawdown calculation, which means that if it hits a certain level, all trades close and return on again the next day. The max daily drawdown is measuring something completely different. It's measuring the peak of the account versus the biggest drop in that overall equity curve. So it's really important that you understand what they're measuring and that they're not measuring the same thing in terms of daily drawdown rules with a prop firm. Number 10, when trading with multiple prop firms, it's sensible to use a copier, maybe like Social Trader Tools or FX Blue like I do. If I've got accounts with FTMO, my Forex funds, the prop trading, True Forex funds or whatever, how I set this up is I use an IC Markets EU demo as a master account, and then I feed whatever set file I've tested on that broker into the sub accounts. Okay, it's just an efficient way of saving time, because otherwise I'd have to have optimized on each of one of them servers. Okay, so once you start scaling and doing multiple challenges at the same time, it's an efficient way of doing it. If you're not doing that, then clearly just run the EA on whatever broker and terminal that you're looking to do a challenge with. Number 11, the days of a challenge. Top tip, don't just jump into a challenge on a Thursday or a Friday. Look at the calendar, plan the trading days within your challenge. Doing that can be the difference between securing 22 trading days or 19 or 20. Yeah, you're going to lose days if you don't plan that. These things are hard enough as they are, so make sure you're stacking marginal gains in your favor and that you're starting on either a Monday or a Tuesday to maximize the amount of days that you've got. Number 12, news. What do you do with news? Well, if you're running a full optimization and you've got a robust process with that follows what I teach in the Strategy Tester video, then that's going to include news within that period. So if you also turn off all high impact news, for example, like USD news on gold, then you're going to potentially miss out where those moves created profit opportunities. Yeah, but they also create risk, right? So just because that's absorbed that news in the past, there's no guarantee that a news release isn't going to move the market outside of what you've tested. So ultimately there is no right or wrong to this answer, and the answer is always going to be it depends. And it depends on things like, are you in a challenge? Are you on a funded account? How many days are left on the challenge? Have you had a good week? If you've had a good week and it's Friday afternoon and it's NFP, then turn off, right? You don't need to risk it. But if it was your last day of a challenge, you would be still on. Watch out for things like NFP, FOMC, CPI. There's a lot of inflation type talk around right now, so interest rate hikes, all of that stuff is going to move the market quite a bit. So just judge it. You're going to have to go through a decision-making process, pros and cons, and work out what's right for you. Number 13, extensions. Such a big opportunity. Don't mean house extensions or hair extensions. What I mean is prop firms like FTMO, My Forex Funds, and E8 Funding right now give you time extensions. If you're in overall profit or above 5%, read the rules of the prop prop firm, but you can extend maybe 15 days or 30 days on your challenge. So if you have a slow and steady approach to your challenge, then for example, my Forex funds, you could probably maximize 60 calendar days out of that, which really does lower the daily average of profit you need to generate. So always know this is within the rules, and be patient and make sure your decisions are in line with securing that extension if you're close to that period of time, yeah, at the end of the challenge where you can secure that. Number 14, prop firms. Yes, I see so many traders who aren't even funded continually searching out prop firms. What about this one? What about that one? What about this new one? And we've probably never heard of them. It's a total waste of time and energy. I'd say my top 5, FTMO, my Forex funds, the prop trading, E8, True Forex funds, unless you're funded with one of them or two of them, anybody else that comes up, you should totally disregard until they become a player and maybe there's reviews and proof of payouts, etc, etc. Don't waste your time searching out prop firms and trying to get funded with them, because then they're probably going to disappear into the sunset and ghost you on payout. That's going to waste all that time, effort, energy, stress, emotions, and it doesn't need to happen. Stick with the major players, otherwise you're going to get caught out. Number 15, consistency. In order to find consistency, you first need to be consistent. You get 5 licenses, no harm in setting up 5 demo accounts, letting them just play out for a period of time. Once you see how them accounts have handled drawdown, news, moves in the market, that's going to instill you with some confidence and belief. Yes, you're going to hit some losses from time to time. How did it recover? What's the overall P&L? What approach do you like best? It's really important. I've got sets that have been running for months, but I've earned that right to get that confidence and belief in that strategy because they've been running for a period of time. You can do the same, but it's going to take you time and a patience and consistency to just set these up and just leave them the fuck alone. Then you'll be able to see how your P&L and your equity curve has played out after that. Last one, number 16. Remember this, always manage your risk. Trading live funds, however you're trading, mainly live funds, you're not liable for the risk on a prop firm, but obviously you need to stay in the rules. Never let your trading turn to hope. There'll always be things that happen that you don't think are likely to happen. That's just probability. You know, US dollar strength, yen weakness. Just because something's dropped 250 pips of a day doesn't mean it's going to then go up. It could drop another 250. Just always make sure the only controllable we've got here are things within our control. How we choose to do things, how we approach to set things up, our risk, the time we spend in understanding some of this stuff. So this video is fundamental to your own success. If you don't pay attention to this and execute and learn and go back over this and understand it, it's going to hurt you. The more you try and rush this process, the more you're going to go backwards. So take stock, understand these top tips that I've just given you on why they're important, and we look forward to seeing you succeed with us.